What's happening, fam? You can make money without a CDL, right? But is it really worth it though? I done both. I want to talk about both, and by the end of this video, hopefully I can help you make the right decision. Let's go. All right, so for those that don't know, a CDL requires a commercial driver's license. You have to go to school. You have to do a written test first. All that good stuff. Everybody pretty much knows about that. We're not going to go over that unless that's something y'all want. We'll talk about it later. Non-CDL, on the other hand, you pretty much can just jump out the gate. So let's say if you're doing like non-CDL hot shot, or you're doing non-CDL box truck or any kind of driving like that, which I do believe can make money. But you're gonna have to work a little bit harder unless you have like direct contacts or something like that to go off of. So on the non-CDL side, you got stuff like cargo vans, just regular pickup truck stuff. You got box trucks, you got non-CDL hot shots, of course. You know, I wouldn't do anything less than a 40-footer if that's the route you're gonna go. If you're doing 32 and 24 and all of that, you're wasting your time, in my opinion. That's just me. That don't mean you can't do it, but you're just wasting your time. You got your Amazon Flex, you got all these gigging apps you can do, which I think might be going down the road since it's such an easy barrier of entry. That's another issue with non-CDL. Now, the part of it that I did, I don't necessarily want to say the name, but it don't matter. I don't work for them no more. The part I used to do, I used to work for FedEx. I had nothing against FedEx when I worked for there. My problem with it was I wasn't using my own vehicle, number one, so I wasn't making my own money. I'm just making whatever they pay. And I was working like FedEx Ground. I started at FedEx Ground and home at the same time. You do a little home on the weekend. I don't know if they still do it like that because it's been so long since I did that. It's like at least 10 years ago. You spend so much time in this truck, and I was just looking at everybody just breaking down in their 60s, still jumping on and off the straight van truck. I know you know what I'm talking about. And it just didn't work out for me. It's a great way to get started into the game, though. Like, don't get that twisted. As a man, I wanted to step up and do something different. So I decided to, let me go get this CDL. That and I got fired. That's a whole nother conversation. Whole nother thing. I ain't ashamed to say it. I got fired. It is what it is. Whatever. And I was like, okay, I got to make a change. I got to do something different anyway. Because I kept playing with God about this. But man, I got to get out of this truck. I got to get out of the truck. You got to watch what you tell God sometime. Next thing you know, got fired. I was like, okay, that's the push I needed. Let me go get the CDL. That's my journey. Now, you could do something different. However, if you're going to do the non-CDL route, you've got to hit the ground running now. Like while you're on your 9 to 5, you got to hit the ground running now. No exceptions, no equivocation. That means while you're on your job, you're doing your studying, you're doing your research, you're figuring out, okay, how can I start making money? How can I do that? Once you figure that part out, what gig app, what outlet you're going to use to make money, once you figure that part out, start trying to do it on the weekend just to get yourself going and flowing and moving and grooving. If you're going to be using your pickup truck to, move furniture, which my brother, like my blood brother, this is his thing. He does this. If you want to do trash hauling, moving furniture, anything like that and making some money, just with a pickup truck, that's cool. You got to build up that clientele though. You got to post videos. You got to do everything you need to do. Now, on the CDL side of it, you can literally drive anything. It's like liquid gold, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, the industry is crazy right now, due to tariffs, due to certain things going on in the country. I live in the U.S., so that's the only market I can speak on because I've never driven trucks in other countries. This is the game right here, and this is what I did. I'm only an expert in my experience. What I did was when I got my CDL, what I feel like separated me was getting as many endorsements as I possibly can. So once I did the written test, I went back and did X, which is hazmat tanker. I went and did the passenger endorsement. So that way, hey, if I need to drive a coach bus, school bus, anything like that, I'd never have to worry about finding a job. Of course, you got to worry about the time it takes to get the job, but I'd never have to worry about finding a job. Now, as far as, DUIs, DWIs, I've never had those types of issues. I don't drink and I don't smoke anyway. That's my life, whatever. Y'all can call me lame if you want, but I got to get my money. Taking care of my family is way more important than anything like that. So that's what I did. If you just happen to do those things, and then you can find you a niche if you want, like oil field, get out of that dry van mess. Get out of that dry van mess as fast as possible. I would go to flatbed. I would go to heavy haul. That's the beauty of having the CDL in the first place. You can swap around and do anything. I don't even care about Class B CDL. I think you're wasting your time and money. Some people do that, and they just say, okay, I can just go drive a cement truck, especially here in Texas. They'll just, oh, I can go drive a cement truck, no problem. I don't need a Class A. But why wouldn't you advance as much as possible? Like, I'm not even talking about owning a truck and starting out your own business. I'm just saying, why wouldn't you want to make as much money as possible? It's kind of like you already at the DMV anyway. Yes, it's an extra test to study. I think it's the combination. That's the only thing that sets it apart. Combination air brakes. That sets it apart. I think they got like a new thing now with the ELDT, which is the early learner driver training. But if you're already there, why not just go ahead and go all the way? It's kind of like having a master's degree and a bachelor's and an associate's. Like, why would you play around with that and not just do what you have to do? Not have to do, but not just to go to just a little bit of the extra mile just to get where you need to go. That's just me. That's what I did. That's what worked out for me. It's in the CDL world, it's so many more job opportunities. So many more job opportunities. You don't have to stress as hard to find a job. Now, that could be an issue for some because that could be a little easy. And they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit here. Then you get stagnant. You get stuck at this one company forever. Cool. But the non-CDL, we'll go back to non-CDL. Non-CDL is a lot more groundwork, in my opinion. Even if you're doing box truck, hey, you're going to have to stay in that truck a certain amount of time. Whereas if you're doing CDL work, you can make a route. You can do Texas to Arkansas, Texas to Oklahoma, Texas to Louisiana. This was my experience owning my own. When I was owning my own, because I don't have my own truck anymore. I'll talk about that in another video. But just saying, Texas, you start building your own lanes and it becomes simpler. Now, you can build your own lanes with a non-CDL as well, but the money is not the same from what I've seen. Job opportunities are all over the place when it comes to trucking. Doesn't matter if you're not a CDL or a CDL. Don't let anybody lie to you saying, oh, there's a driver shortage. There's no such thing as a driver shortage. I would tell you, if you're going to go CDL, stay away from the drive-in. You're going to learn in the drive-in, right? Get away from it as fast as possible. Find you something like flatbed or heavy haul or, hell, cement truck or anything to get out of just regular old drive-in. You want to be able to have other skills besides just one. That's not enough. Y'all know I preach that on this channel anyway. Well, not preach it. I harp on that a lot about, having multiple income streams and having multiple skills is like having 5 fingers on a hand. There you go. You can't go wrong with that. If you only got 1 finger, how can you get in a good fight? How can you take care of a fight? You got to have at least 5 fingers to make a good fist to, fight the good fight. That's just how I believe. That was kind of cheesy, but whatever. My point is, you got to have more than one. Anybody I hang with has to have more than one skill. If you don't, something wrong with you. Now, to me, CDL versus non-CDL is a no-brainer. It's so much easier. But if you want to talk about hotshot versus semis, well, that video will probably be coming up soon. Anyway, hope y'all got something good out of this video. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm off the mark, if you think I'm telling the truth. I'll be down there waiting on it. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Haul something.